First time I met Ace was backstage at Bon Jovi. Ace was going to go out and play with Skid Row at the Meadowlands Arena. It was the first time Skids were playing there. And it was right when the Skid Row Bon Jovi tour was going. And I remember meeting Ace backstage. Snake introduced me to him. And Ace got, "Hey Steve, nice to meet you." But fast forward, of course, after the success of Trixter, Ace knew who we were, and we hung out at a KISS convention. And I would always go see him when he would play. I mean, again, one of my guitar heroes, and just a great, fun guy. And then a couple years ago, I have this other band called Tokyo Motorfist, which is kind of an all-star, melodic rock thing with the singer of Danger Danger, Billy Joel's drummer Chuck Berge, who was in Rainbow, and Greg Smith, who was with Ted Nugent, Alice Cooper, one of these all-star bands. And we wound up doing 3 shows in the New York area, opening up for Ace. While we were doing that, a couple people in Ace's crew, and most importantly, his fiance at the time, Lara, she was like, "Man, you got to get together with Ace. We love this Tokyo Motorfist record," and it was really getting a good buzz at the time. And again, Ace had been working with a lot of the same people over the years. He needed some new inspiration and energy, if you will. And that's how it started. We were texting and trying to coordinate stuff, and I had worked up about 5 or 6 ideas. I don't call them demos, because in this day and age, with like Pro Tools and recording studios, nothing is a demo anymore because you can use everything. I worked up these 3 or 4 ideas. One of them was the song "Walking on the Moon," which is on the, on 10,000 Volts, the record that Ace and I made together. I sent him an email and I said, "Dude, you gotta listen to this." And about a week later, finally, funny story is, I had just gotten out of the shower and I was butt naked in my bedroom, and all of a sudden I see my phone ring, and it's Paul Frehley, and that's his real name. For all the people who don't know, he's not Ace, but he's always Ace. And I see it, and I'm like, holy shit, he's calling. "Steve, I just listened to this idea. It's phenomenal." Another note, it wasn't called "Walking on the Moon." And Ace was like, "We gotta change this, we gotta do that, I'm gonna write a bridge." You went blah, 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 blah. And we hadn't even worked together yet. But it was already that immediate, because he was so excited. And next thing he said, "When can you come over?" And I'm like, "I'll be over Tuesday." I went over to his house. He lives up by me in northern New Jersey. We started working on what would become "Walking on the Moon." That first day we worked together, he cut the vocals, did some guitar parts. 90% of what we did that first day is what wound up on the finished record. Sent it to the record company, his record company, Monarch Heavy, and they were like, "This is incredible, and we want more of this." He does these series of records called Origins, which are covers records where he covers songs that influenced him. So great rock songs from the 60s or 70s, so we're starting to prepare for that. We got a lot of stuff going. Ace and I are a great partnership. We speak the same language. We get along great, and we have fun making music together. And I've said this numerous times, but it's the truth. Seeing somebody like Ace, who's been making records for 50 years, to see him get excited in the studio, I think he fed off my energy a lot, because I was like, there's nothing like being able to work with your hero. I played guitar in a hotel room with Eddie Van Halen a couple times, and moments like that, it's just incredible. So to be working with Ace and making great music and see him get excited, like, "Oh man, this sounds so great," he would say, "I love this." you know, and really see the creative side, because he did bring so much to the table. Couldn't be, you know, one of my proudest moments as a producer, engineer, and a songwriter. The crowning moment, in my opinion, for Ace is, of course, his '78 solo record. You know, Rip It Out, every time I hear it, it still, you know, gives me chills. It's one of those songs, you know, like when I hear Unchained by Van Halen, it's like that. But for me, with Ace, I think the live version of Shock Me, that's on Kiss Alive 2. I tell everybody, like, you want to hear Ace Frehley and know what he's all about, it's that song and that version, because it has his guitar solo in it. You know, he does a unique thing, because Ace was tapping, you know, back in, you know, 1975, you know, before Eddie was. He wasn't doing it the way Ed put beautiful, you know, musical phrases together. He was doing kind of the single string, you know, thing, but he was tapping, and there's video of it. But on this solo, he does a pick tapping thing, where he does an arpeggio with his left hand, and he's picking on the fretboard with his right hand. It was very unique. I think anybody who hasn't heard it, you listen to that, to me, that is quintessential Ace, because it's Shock Me, which is a great Ace Frehley song, and his vocal, it was his first vocal with Kiss. So it's a monumental song. But there's so many great moments. I love the stuff he did on Unmasked, which is the record in 1980, which was when Kiss was starting to fall apart. Two great songs that I love, Talk to Me and Three Sides of the Coin, are on that record, which are just phenomenal. Ace is doing an open tuning, sort of Keith Richards thing. And one of the coolest moments of working with Ace was even after the record, him and I rehearsing the new songs. Me and him working on how he's gonna, you know, different parts, what's gonna work for him playing live, playing 10,000 Volts and Cherry Medicine. And then throw into the mix one of the coolest things. We were putting some new Kiss songs in the set, Shout It Out Loud. And I went over and I sat for an hour and a half just playing and singing Shout It Out Loud with Ace. And it was crazy. You know, me and him just sitting on chairs, and I'm singing, you know, shout it, and Ace is going, oh, I love doing this because it's got a low harmony that I sing. Me and him going back and forth, like working on the guitar solo, because he hasn't played in a long time. And he was like, Steve, I finally got this lick right. And he's playing the solo for me. I remember texting PJ going, dude, I'm sitting in Ace's studio playing Shout It Out Loud with him. If that's not like a Kiss fan's dream, I don't know what is. We're in a streaming world, and that's the, you know, sad reality of it. Back in the 80s, record labels had huge budgets, and it was all about selling records, and bands were selling millions, multi-million, you know, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 million records. Slippery When Wet, 1986, 87, sold 13 million records. And then you would go out on tour to promote that record, to sell more records and cassettes and 8-track tapes and whatever the hell it was, product. And then CDs came in. Nowadays, with the advent of the internet, everything is basically free. With YouTube and with Spotify, it's a different world out there. So now you make a record as a promotional tool to play live. Because for us bands nowadays like Trixter, it's all about playing live. That's where we make our money. We sell tickets and we sell t-shirts. For us, we have a great fan base because we were based in the 80s and they're still there. So they still buy physical product, our fans. And I think like Ace, the new 10,000 Volts Ace record, there are 17 different vinyl variants, 5 different CDs, and the Kiss fans and Ace fans will buy all those. Much like Trixter. They buy the vinyl. We still print up CDs, we still print up vinyl, we still make rock shirts, we sell guitar picks, anything. Nowadays, we all know that the music business, it's a streaming world. It's Spotify and YouTube and Apple Music. And as a songwriter, I'm still hopeful that someday they're able to work this out to where we get some sort of fair payment. The sad reality is that I basically, you know, for a song that's streamed on Spotify, for one stream, I make between 3 and 4% of a penny. And when they say you're basically giving it away at that price and that royalty rate, kind of are. It's a sad, you know, sad thing, but I think they're gonna work it out. For the big artists, The Taylor Swifts, the Ed Sheerans, the pop artists, even some of the high-level rock bands, they're getting a fair royalty rate, and they're the ones who are saying, oh man, you know, streaming's fine. I saw the one thing where Ed Sheeran said he made $17 million off one of his songs that got, you know, what, 3 billion streams? But then there's, you know, Peter Frampton talked about Show Me the Way that got 500 million streams and he got a check for like 11 grand. There's something that's very wrong. But look, the music business, the business has been broken for years. The artist is always the last one to get paid. We get terrible royalty rates, but that's what we signed up for. And for me, this is what I've done all my life. Luckily, I'm blessed. I've had a great career that's still going strong, and I've made money, so I really can't complain. But I would like to see it, you know, kind of leveled out for the younger musicians, you know, and younger songwriters who are making music, because when they ask me for advice, I don't really know what to tell them. You know, all I can say is build yourself up to be the biggest band in your area, the money will come. But again, I didn't get into this for money. I started playing music, and it's still true to this day. I play music for the love of music, and I make guitars for the love of guitar gear, and I do all these different things because it's in my blood. I can't do anything else. Making music, playing music, performing music is like breathing for me. Right now I'm touring with my SBS guitars. Of course, you know, my signature line that I have out through Guitar Fetish. We've been in business a little over a year now. Right now with Trixter, we're out on the road. We just finished a 3-week tour. I've been using my Ferrari Red Showroom Series, the SS260 model. 2 humbuckers, Alnico 2s, guitar screams. I've been beating the hell out of it. And just so everybody knows, my guitars that I use out on the road are 100% stock. The only thing that I add is a trem stopper because I don't like to pull up on the bar. It's the only thing that I add, 100% stock, and the guitars are just kicking ass. They sound great. Everybody is blown away. All the other guitar players in different bands that check out my guitars. I have that, and then I have a purple VS 260, the original run. The next 10 years, who knows what's really gonna happen. The one thing I can always say, that I will be out rocking and rolling, giving the best I can, singing and playing, writing songs, producing, and I say it all the time, rounding third base to 54 years old. The first 50 years were just a warm-up, I believe. I think the best is yet to come for me. I believe I'm in the best shape of my life, mentally, physically, emotionally, musically. I'm playing, singing, writing better than I ever have, better as a producer. So I think that great things are happening. I'm really looking forward to building my producer and songwriter credits with that. I've been going down to Nashville. I'm working with a great country artist, Corey Marks, who's a platinum-selling country rock artist. He's got a new record coming out in October that I have a song on, so I'm really looking to get in writing with other people. You know, I'd love to be, you know, next couple of years, start making my way to become the new Mutt Lange, if you will, or Bob Rock. Thank you. And thank you guys for everything.